Hi everybody, welcome to Muscoot Farm. I'm Dr. MacDonald and today we're going to do another science experiment. So, we're at a farm and we have an abundance of these, which are just regular chicken eggs. So we're going to try to make a rubber egg. And we'll explain the process as we go, but the first thing we're going to do is get a glass container, and as usual, make sure that you have permission to do this and some assistance maybe. And so you gently want to put the egg in. You don't want it to crack. So you're just going to put that, and we have 3 different kinds of eggs. We just wanted to try out this experiment a couple times. So you need obviously eggs, a glass container, and vinegar. So the next thing we're going to do is pour enough vinegar in here just to cover the egg. And with this experiment, you have to be patient because we're going to have to let it wait for about 3 whole days. So we're going to start by pouring in, like I said, just enough to cover the egg. That's the first one. That's the second one. Third one. So now that we have the egg in the glass and it is covered with regular vinegar, what's going to happen now is that we're going to let this rest for about 24 hours, and then we're going to take the egg out and we're going to kind of put in new vinegar. So while we're doing that, I want you to kind of think about maybe what you think is going to happen while these eggs are sitting in vinegar. So it's been 24 hours and we've had these eggs sitting in vinegar that entire time. And if you look, you can see that certain things are starting to happen. Actually, some of the pigment from the shell is starting to come off of the egg itself. So what we're supposed to do now is drain these jars. So just pour out the vinegar, and then we're gonna cover it again with more vinegar and let that sit for 2 days. And then we should have our rubber eggs. So you can follow me over to the sink and we're gonna dump these out. All right, so we're gonna take these eggs and we're gonna just dump out the vinegar. We wanna go nice and slow and probably put it kind of low because we don't want to drop, if the egg does come out, we don't want it to drop from a high height because it can still break. But I will tell you at this point, it already feels very rubbery. So I'm gonna pour this out. All right, so let's go and add some more vinegar on top of these. All right, so we've dumped out the old vinegar and we are now going to just cover again with new vinegar. You just want to go to the top. Okay, and so we're gonna let these sit for 2 days and we'll come back and we'll see what happens. All right, welcome back. So it's been 3 days here at Muscoot, and this is kind of what has happened. The shell has pretty much all but dissolved from just the vinegar. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna wash these off, we're gonna rinse them off, and then show you what happens when you put an egg in vinegar for 3 days. So if you come on this way, you can see. Just start to rinse these out. So right away you can see it is much different. It is jelly and there's no hard outside shell. So if you look, this is what the eggs do now. So we'll go ahead and clean all of these off. And so basically what we've done is we've used the vinegar to completely eat away at the calcium in the shell. And I'm going to show you too here in a minute that the egg is still very much an egg, even though it does not have a shell. So I'll bring these over, bring them right back here on our table. And even with this one, you can see the yolk still inside. It's a little harder with the other ones, and that's probably because they were a different color egg. But if you have your parents' permission or your grown-ups' permission to do this, you will have a bouncy egg. I will warn you though that if you bounce it too hard or drop it from too high, you probably will break it. So I'm gonna grab a plate and we will see what this looks like whenever we cut it open. All right, so let's take this and let's see what happens. So just like that, just that easy, you'll see this is the outside shell and that is the egg yolk. So this basically kind of looks a lot more like a reptile egg than an actual chicken egg. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something, and please come back and visit us again soon.